So I wanted to show you just very quickly an example of what your PowerPoint slide should look like at the end of the challenge that you will record using loom.com. So when you start off really strong, get people's attention, maybe use a fact or statistics or some data. And the reason is they're going to be listening to and hearing a lot of pitches. You want to stand out. So do that in the beginning. Then you want to go straight into the problem you're solving. Remember, your audience or judges, they don't have any type of background and they haven't done the research you've done. So you have to, one, tell them about the problem, and then two, tell them about why they should care about that problem. Once you've done that, talk about your customer or user, or plural if you decided to have more than one of each. Be descriptive. Where do they live? What are they like? Create really a persona, customer persona, so your judges or your audience can get a real feel of who your customer or your user is. Don't be generic here. Once you've done your problem and customer, then look at your idea, which is your solution, your product, your service. How does it solve the problem you just talked about? How does it meet a need? It has to really come together in this slide. 5 is, well, I've done my research and the solution. Now I'm going to get it out to the world. What's your top 2 to 3 marketing channels? And, we're not expecting you to get it 100% right. It's just you're making a really educated guess on why you've chosen these channels. Then you want to talk about key costs. So costs for building your solution, maybe costs for the marketing that you just talked about. There's going to be lots and lots of costs. I really just want you to focus on your top key costs. That's going to actually require quite a bit of cash if that's the case. You want to finish off with your revenue streams. You could have 1 revenue stream, so how are you going to make money? Or you could have up to 3. If you have more than 1, just give an explanation of why you've chosen multiple streams. Once again, no pressure to get it 100% right. These are educated guesses. We encourage you to go and talk to your customers or users. So hopefully we've talked to about 5 of them. Go and get the feedback and then talk to us about what you learned from that feedback. What did they say from your research and how have you used that in your product or service? If you've pivoted, you can talk about your pivot here. You want to end off with 3 screens of, let's say, an iPhone or a website, you decide. And these screens are essentially telling the audience or the judges what your product or service initially looks like. So it could be the homepage screen, it could be like a screen a customer sees, it could be a product screen. You decide whatever you want, and it could be very basic. There could only be a few buttons on the screens. But you'll see in a very quick visual, your audience is able to understand what you're talking about. So include this, and then finish off with something really memorable. Remember, again, they're listening to lots of pitches. You want to stand out. What's the one thing you want them to remember about your product, your service, your problem? And you are done after that.